Is politics making me racist? A little bit of background. I've lived in progressive cities my entire life and generally consider myself a progressive. I now live in a very progressive city on the West Coast, and some of the things I see on a day-to-day basis have me questioning my beliefs. The crime. It's hard to ignore what you see with your own two eyes. It's mainly black people committing these crimes. Organized or not, it's one race. I literally see it every day. I don't know how to reconcile that. I tell myself that this isn't indicative of crime everywhere, but I rarely see others committing crimes. I've spent a lot of time doing research and trying to understand crime statistics, and the data unfortunately reinforces what I see. That most crime is mainly perpetrated by one race. I understand the historical context and how people talk about redlining and other racist policies and the impact of police brutality on that group of people, but then I read academic papers that don't always back that up. I have a master's degree and have done research before, so I'm looking at random sources, untrusted sources. 92% of people affected by redlining were white people. Police do not kill more unarmed black people compared to white people. These are studies done by prominent scholars in their fields from top institutions. People will argue that it's because of poverty, but even when correcting for poverty levels, black Americans still commit significantly more crime than any other race. I genuinely don't believe that black people are inherently more violent or evil than any other race. I think it's a combination of the historical context, effects of Jim Crow, slavery, racism, etc., and a culture that focuses on crime, quick money and vanity. I've tried talking to my progressive friends about this, and they all give me weird looks even when I share the data with them. As soon as I say the culture is a big problem, I get told that sounds pretty racist, but it's the truth. Black immigrants from Africa or Jamaica commit significantly less crime than black Americans, they go to college at much higher rates and have lower rates of single motherhood. So it's obviously not an inherent race or skin color thing, but I can't even have these honest conversations with people without sounding and being accused of being a racist. Also, when you compare poverty across races, Asians, whites and Hispanics commit less crime. I talk to my black friends and I've noticed that they're even racist towards the poorer black people who commit these crimes. They feel like they have to deal with the burden of stereotyping and racism for crimes that other people who just happen to have same skin color are committing. I think if I lived in a more moderate or even conservative city, I probably wouldn't see as much crime with my own eyes and maybe would have an easier time justifying to myself that it's not a culture thing. The problem is that I see with my own two eyes. I've done the research and looked at the data, and all of that tells me that it's a cultural problem with black Americans. I just don't know how to reconcile this. My morality tells me that racism is wrong, and I definitely do not want to be racist, but my eyes and brain are telling me that there is something fundamentally wrong here. And whenever I talk to my other progressive friends, they just sound so uninformed and delusional that I can't help but think that they don't actually care about reality and just want to feel good about virtue signaling. Am I the asshole for wrestling with these thoughts?